fans, welcome to Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs Baseball. I'm Pete Pagliaro, bringing you all the action tonight as we have an exhibition matchup as the Albany Athletics are back in town against the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs here tonight. First, let's go through the lineups for Mohawk Valley. The DH tonight will be number 44, Nolan Colby. At second base is number 29, Aiden Streeter. Right fielder is number 4, Jake Harder. The left fielder is number 19, Brody Freaker. Third baseman is number 15, Jack Henning. Catching tonight for your DiamondDawgs, number 34 is Joe Crenshaw. The first baseman is number 38, Wesley Alfonso. At short tonight for Mohawk Valley is Harsh Ramavian Venkak. The center fielder is number 25, Kyle Coleman. And on the mound tonight for Mohawk Valley is Peyton Borzovi. Peyton Borzovi pitching tonight for Mohawk Valley. And for the visitors tonight, the Albany Athletics at second base is number 3, Red Marin. The catcher is number 5, Christian Tortorici. Third baseman is number 14, Nick Plew. The center fielder is number 16, Davin Kendall Tucky. In right field for the Athletics is number 31, Chase Morrison. At short, number 8 is Ty Kimbler. The DH is number 2, Cam Mayo. First baseman is number 40, Tristan Gardner. And in left field is number 6, Ryan Regan. On the mound tonight for Albany, is number 34, Luke Tizenchek. Luke Tizenchek, pitching tonight from Manhattan College, is on the mound for the Athletics. The Athletics are coached by Joe Altieri, and Mohawk Valley is coached by head coach Steve Luby, assisted by Josh Abara and Mason Stewart. So there you go. There's your lineups for tonight. So the Dogs come back here today for a 5 o'clock start, 5:15 start, I should say. And they come off a big win last night in Amsterdam. So they are 2-0 in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League season. So Dogs off to a good start. This game is an exhibition game. Therefore, it will not count in the standing. And we also will play 7 innings because it is an exhibition. So we are just about ready to get started here as the Albany Athletics come to the box here with the Red Marin stepping into the box. Here is Marin, and he is ready to face the lefty here for the DiamondDawgs. Here's the pitch, and first pitch misses for ball 1. That is Peyton Borzivi. So Peyton Borzivi, the pitcher for Mohawk Valley. Here's the second pitch, and that one also misses, and the count now 2-0. Borzovi, a left-hander here for Mohawk Valley, facing the righty, and that is popped foul, and the count now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike here to Red Marin. Marin, a right-handed bat. Athletics wearing black tops with the red pinstripes and white pants. Here's the pitch. That one is down the middle for a call, strike 2, and that will even things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Marin, and he will hit that ball into right field. Right fielder is there for Mohawk Valley. That is Harder, makes the catch, and that is out number 1. So I pop out to right field for Red Marin. Starts things off with an out here for the Athletics. So here's the catcher, Christian Tortorici from Houghton Community College. He is the catcher for the Athletics. Houghton College, I'm sorry. He will step into the box here to face Borzovi. He will wind and deliver with 1 out. And right down the middle of the plate for a call strike. And 0-1 now to Tortorici. Following Tortorici in the lineup will be Nick Plew. He's on deck. He is the third baseman for Albany. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2. So quickly ahead on the count is Borzovi. 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Another nice day here in Little Falls. Again, we get that breeze you've seen the last couple of days here, blowing from right to left. And here's the pitch. It is left high by Tortorici, and the count now 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Top of the first here. Remember, exhibition game, 7-inning affair. between the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs and the Albany Athletics. The Athletics from the Twilight League out in Albany, and they like to play some games here against some of the teams in the PGCBL just to expand their level of play and get better for the season. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to the catcher, Tortorici. Here's the big windup and the pitch. And that one's in the dirt. Stopped by the catcher, Joe Crenshaw. And the count now full at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes here to the catcher, Tortorici, here in the top of the first inning. A little bit of a cool evening here on a Sunday night. And there's called strike 3. Tortorici wasn't sure about that one. Looked back at it and called strike 3 by the umpire. And that is good for out number 2. So here is Nick Plew for Albany. Plew from SUNY Cortland. He is the third baseman tonight, wearing number 14. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that one gets away from the catcher for ball 1. A 1 ball and no strikes to Nick Plew. Plew wearing that Cortland red helmet, batting helmet. There's the windup and the pitch, and hit sharply past the third baseman into the left field for a base hit. That's the first hit of the ball game for Albany from Nick Plew. So here is the center fielder for Albany, Davin Kendall Tuckey. He is from Dominican University, wearing number 16. He is a lefty, so for the first time tonight, we'll see lefty versus lefty here in the lineup. Here's the windup now on the pitch. Outside, stopped by the catcher, Crenshaw. He had to extend out there to get that ball. And the count 1-0. Runner on first base, taking a short lead, being held on by the first baseman for Mohawk Valley. That's Wesley Alfonso. And here's the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss. And that will even things up at 1-1. So a ball and a strike here to Davin Kendall Tuckey. Chase Morrison is on deck. 1-1 count as Borzovi looks in. Crenshaw gives him his sign. We'll take a glance at that runner at first before he delivers. Runner takes off. Here's the throw by Crenshaw. It's a little high, and the runner is safe at second base. So Nick Plew, with a stolen base, finds himself at second now. As Crenshaw got that ball out quickly, was just a bit high, and the second baseman had to get off his feet to grab it and allow the runner to slide underneath him. So 2-1 here to Tuckey. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball 3 in the count now, 3-1. Three balls and a strike. As Borzovi was off the rubber momentarily. He's back on it now, ready to go. Runner at second, taking the lead, not being held on. Borzovi looks over a few times, delivers the pitch in the dirt, and that is ball 4. So Tuckey will walk and put runners on first and second here in the early first inning. So Chase Morrison now the batter for the Albany Athletics. He is from Hudson Valley Community College, one of 3 Hudson Valley Community College players in the lineup tonight for Albany. Hudson Valley not too far from Albany, so a good place to recruit some players and have them play in the summer for the Athletics. That one missed to Morrison in the count 1-0. Morrison, the right fielder, bats from the right side. So righty versus lefty is Peyton Borzovi, a lefty pitcher here. And that one catches the inside portion of the plate in the count 1-1. So a ball and a strike here to Chase Morrison. Again, runners on first and second here at the top of the first for Albany. Borzovi sets, winds, and delivers, and that one gets away. And that's going to allow the runners to advance. The runners will advance to second and third. Borzovi got a little wild on that pitch. And the catcher, Joe Crenshaw, wasn't able to handle it. So the count now 2-1 with runners in scoring position here for Albany. 2 outs on the board for Borzovi, so he just needs one more out to get out of this inning. Got off to a good start. And a single and a walk put the 2 runners on. 2-1 count. There's the windup pitch, and it is high. And the count again, 3-1. So Borzovi here will look to put one down the middle. Try to bring this count to a full count here and battle back. 3-1 pitch now on his way. And the ball is hit to the third baseman. Excuse me. For the final out.
We know pools. Garrity Pools and Spa are the experts in building and creating backyard memories for thousands of families. Garrity takes pride in offering only the highest quality in-ground Pacific pool and radiant above-ground pools that are built for upstate New York weather. Garrity offers only the best with BioGuard chemicals to keep your pool sparkling clean. Visit the professionals at Garrity Pools and Spa, 234 South Caroline Street, Herkimer, or GarrityPools.com.
Wake up and smell the sizzle at your local Burger King. Burger King is open for breakfast 7 days a week. Your mornings deserve the royal treatment. So dive in to try our delicious breakfast sandwiches, savor our savory hash browns, and wash it all down with a hot or iced coffee. Whether it's Monday or Sunday, we've got your breakfast cravings covered. Swing by BK today to have it your way. You rule at participating U.S. restaurants during breakfast hours.
All right, fans, we are back and got that throat cleared. It was a little bad there for a second. So Nolan Colby will lead things off. The way that inning ended before it got all choked up, that was Chase Morrison grounded out the third base. So here we go with the Dogs. No score. Bottom of the first inning. Nolan Colby is the batter here for the Dogs. And he's a left-handed batter. He swings and misses. And that is strike one to Colby. Luke Tizenchek is the pitcher for Albany. And Tizenchek puts one in the dirt, and the count now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Nolan Colby, the designated hitter from Fairfield University. A 1-1 pitch on its way. Big swing and a miss. And there is strike 2 in the count now. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Colby. So it'll be Nolan Colby, Aiden Streeter, and Jake Harder all due up here in this inning. 1-2. Tizenchek delivers, and there's a swing and a miss for strike 3 and out number 1 as Nolan Colby strikes out.
Second baseman number 29 from American International University, Aiden Streeter.
So Aiden Streeter now your batter for the DiamondDawgs. He is the second baseman wearing number 29, bats from the right side. So we'll have a righty versus righty matchup here. Here's the windup and the pitch. And there's a strike in the count, 0-1. No balls and a strike to Streeter. Harder on deck. You're at the bottom of the first inning here from Vets Park in Little Falls, New York. Thanks for joining us if you're out there in Facebook land and internet land. And there's strike 2 down the middle, and the count now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Ahead of the count is Tizenchek with 1 out. Tizenchek steps off the rubber before he makes his way back onto the hump. Streeter is ready to go in the box, and so is Tizenchek. He's going to set now, wind and deliver on the 0-2. And that one outside and low. They're going to check to see if he went, and they say no, he did not. And the count in 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Streeter, your batter. Jake Harder is on deck. No score here, bottom of the first, between the Albany Athletics and the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. That one's fouled off on the first base slide, and that's going to be a souvenir out in the tennis court area for our kids. So if the kids are alert and watching, they can make their way home with some souvenirs. A lot of balls make their way into that tennis court area throughout the year. 1-2. Here's the windup and the pitch. And again, that was fouled off. Same time, same side down the tennis courts. I see that would make a big bounce. And looks like there's no kids over there. So whoever heads on over there is going to get at least 2 baseballs. I can see one from here under the bench area. So kids, if you're listening, you're in the area, leave home. Go to the bench area, purple bench, and you can find yourself a souvenir. It's hiding under the bench. 1-2. And that ball hit sharply to left center field for a base hit for Streeter. And so Streeter gets on here for the DiamondDawgs, the first hit of the ball game for Mohawk Valley from Aiden Streeter.
Right fielder number 4 from Fairfield University, Jake Hard.
So here is Jake Hard. Hard is the right fielder from Fairfield University, another right-handed bat here for the Dogs. And he's got a runner on first with 1 out. Here's the windup and the pitch. Big swing and a miss by Hard, and the count 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Tizenchek looks in, looks at the runner at first base who's taking a short lead. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that was right back at us here in the booth. And the count jumps to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. The DiamondDawgs sporting their traditional jerseys here at home, the dark green tops with white pants. And they check the runner back at first. He quickly slides back, and the count remains 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to Jake Hard. Here's the pitch. Outside, and that is ball 1. So a ball and 2 strikes here to Hard. Again, he's got a runner on first and 1 out. No score, bottom first. Coming to you from Vets Memorial Park in Little Falls, New York. This is an exhibition between the Albany Athletics and the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Second time they've already played this season. They started off the season against Albany right here at home on Friday night. And that one misses inside, and the count now even at 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Hard. Brody Freaker is on deck. Runner at first. Streeter taking a few steps off the bag, being held on. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that is popped up and into foul territory. Into the bleachers here, down the first base line. So Hard continuing the battle at the plate, facing a 2-2 count here. He is in a battle with Luke Tizenchek, the pitcher here for Albany. Tizenchek is set, and he delivers in the dirt. And the count now is 3-2. That was dug out by his catcher, Christian Tortorici. And so a full count here to Hard. And back to first base goes Tizenchek to check the runner as Streeter slides back easily. And the wind has shifted now. Looks like it's blowing out. It was just blowing left to right momentarily, but now goes the other way, and that one's popped up. First baseman's calling for it and has trouble with it, and he will not make the catch. That ball got away from him as that wind took it away from him. Looked like he was underneath it for a second and then slowly started drifting away. And so Hard stays alive with a 3-2 count. So tough to make that catch with the wind. You see the wind is shifting around. It was blowing out. Now it's blowing from left to right. They may have had some effect on the ball. 3-2 pitch on the way. And that one misses for ball 4. And then I'll put runners on first and second here for the Dogs. So Brody Freaker from George Washington University, the left fielder, will come to the plate. Freaker, a right-handed batter for the Dogs. He will step into the batter's box with 1 out and runners on first and second. So good opportunity here for the Dogs to get on the board early here in the bottom of the first. And big swing and a miss by Freaker. Might have got a piece of that one. And they count 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike here to Freaker. And here's the pitch. In the dirt, gets away from the catcher, and that's going to allow both runners to advance to second and third. So that one got away from Tortorici. And now runners on second and third in scoring position here for the Dogs. Prime opportunity for Freaker to bring them home. 1-1, here's the pitch. Inside. And they count now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike here. Here's the windup and the pitch. And as popped fouled on the first base line. Again, into the tennis courts, and 2 kids are in a dead sprint to go get it. I'll give you the rundown. We got a 3rd kid going for it. Kid's a little behind, a little late, but he's probably hoping those 2 don't see it. Someone's going to come out victorious. And that one is fouled off. And they count now 2-2. So it looks like we got a winner on the ball. I think it was the girl who's in the lead. I think the first ball's still there under the bleachers. No one's seen it yet. It's like a hidden egg. 2-2. And that one is high and tight inside. 3-2 now the count. So 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Brody Freaker. Runners on second and third, and there's a called strike 3 to Freaker. And he thought maybe he had the ball for a walk, and he's going to go back to the dugout unhappy. And so Jake Henning will have a chance now for the DiamondDawgs. Sorry, Jack Henning. Here's Jack Henning, the 3rd baseman. We got a Jack and a Jake in the lineup. Sometimes we get them confused, huh? That was on me. Here's Jack Henning. And first pitch to Henning is a swing and a miss, and the count 0-1. So 2 outs here. Runners in scoring position for the Dogs. They want to bring these runners home before this inning is over and jump on the lead if they can. Henning from Trinity University. Here's the windup, the pitch. And down low stop by Tortorici, and they count 1-1. A 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. And hit on the ground, foul. And the first baseman's going to make the grab in foul territory and bring it back in. And the count will be 1-2 now when everybody settles back in. So should Henning reach the catcher, Joe Crenshaw is on deck for Mohawk Valley. So 1 hit on the board for both teams thus far. Runners on second and third for the Dogs. No score, bottom first. Here's the pitch. And that one takes a big bounce. Catcher can't find it. Runners coming home. And the Dogs take a 1-0 lead. That ball took a big bounce on Tortorici. He was looking around to see where it was, couldn't find it. And that allowed the runner to come home. And the other runner will be on third base now. And the Dogs lead 1-0. And Henning still at the plate with a 2-2 count. So Dogs jump out first here in the bottom of the first inning, 1-0. There's the 2-2, and that is popped up, and second baseman makes the call and makes the grab. That is Red Marin, ends the inning, not before the Dogs put up 1 run, and they lead 1-0 after 1. Back after this.
At GPO, we understand every member's journey is unique. That's why our employees take the time to listen, understand, and deliver personalized solutions that fit your life. From budgeting to borrowing, we're with you every step of the way. Your journey, our commitment. GPO Federal Credit Union, committed to excellence.
At Hummel's Office Plus, our customers remain our #1 priority. Hi, Central New York. This is Justin Hummel, CEO of Hummel's Office Plus. If you are in need of a reliable, competitive, and consistent business product supplier, give Hummel's a try. We offer customized pricing, free next-day delivery, and personalized service. With our wide assortment of office supplies, janitorial supplies, furniture, and everything else you need for your workplace, Hummel's is your go-to for all your business products.
And we're back. We were just practicing our racehorse announcements up here. We're saying how hard it is. Josh and I might take a stab at it next week at Vernon Downs. Look. And the pitch, first pitch misses for ball 1. We kind of were talking about the Kentucky Derby and how incredible the guy who does it looks with all his stuff that he's got in front of him and how hard it is to look down. And there's ball 2. I have enough trouble with baseball, and baseball is slow, right? Imagine a horse running. Imagine these guys running around full speed as horses. Come on now. 2-0. And there's a strike in the count now, 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to, I believe it's Kimbler. Ty Kimbler, the shortstop. He's a lefty. Takes that pitch for ball 3, and quickly the count runs up to 3-1. So 3 balls and a strike here to Kimbler. Will be Kimbler, Mayu, and Gardner all due up here. Here's the windup and the pitch by Borzovi. And that's a called strike. Catches the bottom portion corner of the plate, 3-2. Nice pitch there by Borzovi. And he's got the count full here, trying to get him here with a 3-2 count. Nobody out. Top of the second, 1-0 Dogs. Here's the pitch. And little chopper. Second baseman makes the grab, throws on over, and that is good for out number 1. So that was Streeter at second base, over to Alfonso for the out. And now Cam Mayu will come to the plate. So Cam Mayu from Virginia Wesleyan. He is tonight's designated hitter for Albany, wearing number 2. Right-handed batter is Mayu in the pitch. First pitch, he swings at it, sends it out to right field, and that will be safe. That will be fair, and that's a base hit for Mayu as he puts that one into right for a single. So a single for Mayu. And Tristan Gardner now will come to the plate here for the Athletics. So Tristan Gardner from Hudson Valley Community College, another right-handed batter for Albany. And he'll have a runner on first base with 1 out. So Borzovi looks at that runner at first and now winds and delivers the pitch. Swing and a miss by Gardner in the count, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Lots of little kids here in the stands tonight wearing their Little League jerseys. Always fun to see the kids in their jerseys. Enjoying the game here. And that one is inside for ball one. The count in 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. That's one of the things that is great about the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. You always have kids from around the area coming with their Little League jerseys. It's always Little League night here. Some team being sponsored or being recognized. The kids are always hanging out here at the ballpark. And there's a swing and a miss in the count in 1-2, which is exactly what we want. More kids looking up to these guys and playing baseball. 1-2. The count. Here's the pitch. And swing and a miss. Took a little bit off of that one, did Borzovi, and that got him. And he strikes out Gardner for out number 2. So we go to the bottom of the lineup with Ryan Reagan. Ryan Reagan is a left fielder for Albany. He attends Adirondack Community College. So with 2 outs, here's the pitch. And that's hit on the ground to second base. Streeter picks it up, throws on over to first to Alfonso, and that does it for the inning. A quick inning. Dogs remain hanging on to the lead 1-0. We'll be back after this.
Spring into action and get started on your home projects with Little Falls Lumber. Get your free estimate today for that project, big or small. Little Falls Lumber. They're always happy to help.
Stop by one of our 3 convenient locations and speak to one of our knowledgeable salesmen about your next project.
At NBT Bank, we know that this day starts with this one. This day starts with this one. Because no matter how unforgettable the extraordinary days are, there's a lot of every day that leads up to them. You can count on NBT Bank to help you get started. NBT Bank, it starts here.
And welcome back. Joe Crenshaw will lead things off here for the Dogs in the bottom of the second inning. Dogs have a 1-0 lead here against the Albany Athletics. And Crenshaw, right-handed batter, the catcher for the Dogs. Here's the pitch. And Crenshaw swings and sends that one into left field foul. And that'll bring the count to 0-1 for Crenshaw. So Crenshaw attends the University of Richmond. Yes, the Richmond Spiders. Always fun to see the Richmond Spiders in the NCAA tournament when they make the tournament. And the count in 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Also a good baseball school out there for the Spiders. Good play, good logo too. You gotta love the logo. There's the 1-1. And that is down low for ball 2. The count now 2-1 to Crenshaw. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bottom second, Dogs ahead 1-0. 7-inning game here today. So we will probably be home early on Sunday night. 3 balls and 1 strike. That means I'll be watching Sunday night football. Yeah, okay. Sunday night baseball. They put so much football in your head nowadays. That's all you think about, it seems like. It's on year round. And there's strike 2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We all love our football, but it's baseball season, folks. 3-2 the count. I know sitting in front of me, a big Oakland Raiders fan, or whatever Raiders they are now, Las Vegas. Can't keep count, they move so much. And there is a called strike 3. So Crenshaw thought maybe that was a ball, but nope.
From American International University, Wesley Alfonso.
So Wesley Alfonso now will come to the plate for the Dogs. And I never got a chance to ask Ezzo what he thought about the big draft that the Raiders had this year. They did select a Notre Dame high school graduate. He ended up going to play at CNS, though. But still, he played at Notre Dame 7th and 8th grade. I think 9th grade, too, maybe. But made his mark at CNS for sure. There's the 1-0 pitch. And that one hit into left field for a base hit for Alfonso. So he gets on for the Dogs here in the bottom of the second. So a single for Alfonso. So here's Harsh Ramayana Venkat from Brown University, the shortstop. So Brown University, what kind of helmet you think he's wearing? Brown. Yes, sir. And that one is popped up foul, 0-1. That's kind of an easy one, right? When you go to college at Brown University and you ask Mom, Mom, I need a new helmet. What color? Brown. Easy, right? No balls and 1 strike. We talked about this the other day. Not only is he good on the baseball field, but getting into Brown University, an Ivy League school, whew, that's why. I'm going to go with the smartest kid on the baseball team right now. Probably the smartest kid in this ballpark. 0-2. Well, we got a Columbia kid too, so maybe that's a good law school, I think. We'll have to bet. Maybe we'll have to do a trivia contest. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and see if our Columbia guy or our Brown guy. Both Ivy League schools, right, Azo? Yeah, both Ivy League schools. 1 and 2. And that one misses. And they're going to check it, and they're going to say, no, he did not go. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So maybe that should be our new slogan for the year. Not only are we good in the baseball field, we're smart, too. Woo. And then you got Pags in the booth. You got Ezel in the booth. You got J-Mac in the booth. You got Xavier up here. I mean, the mental brain power up here is insane. I mean, we could all went to Ivy League schools, I think. Xavier still has a chance. He's still in high school, so I think. 3-2. He's probably going to Yale or something. Oh, he's going to RPI. All right. He just made his announcement, folks. Mom doesn't even know. 3-2. Just did his announcement live on the air. That one's popped into center field, and the center field is going to make the grab. So RPI, they're the engineers, right? I believe. Yeah.
Center fielder number 25 from Belmont University, Kyle Coleman.
So Kyle Coleman now the batter for the DiamondDawgs with 2 outs here. So here is Coleman. And the windup pitch. And that is a ball. 1-0 count here to Coleman. Coleman is a center fielder from Belmont University. There's the windup in the pitch. And that one missing. And the count now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes here to Coleman. Wind up on the pitch is called a strike, and the count now 2-1. So as we're going through our smarts up here in the booth, I'm going to give it to Xavier going to RPI. That's a pretty impressive school. My SUNY Poly degree is all right, but doesn't stack up to RPI. That one hit out into left field. Took a bounce at the shortstop and bounced into left field. So a base hit there for Coleman. So Nolan Colby now the batter. So some folks might say, Pete, you went to SUNY Poly and you're a broadcaster? Well, that's not my real gig. Okay, my real thing is accounting. I went there for accounting, got my MBA out there, stayed local, and I like to stay involved in sports. So that's why I'm here. Met these guys a long time ago, and I never left. And that one has popped up foul. And the count 0-1. That's kind of the story for all of us in the booth here. The three of us, Ezzo and J-Mac, we all kind of started here and never left. And we'll probably be here until we're old and gray and we can't go up the stairs anymore. And that one misses in the count 1-1. I'm going to say when I first started, we got a stairs that leads up to this booth up here, like most press boxes. And when I first started, that thing was easy to get up. It was just like walking up the stairs, no problem. It's getting rough, man. That one is hit hard into right field, and that's going to score 1 run. And the Dogs now take a 2-0 advantage after Nolan Colby smacks the single out to right center field. And the score now 2-0 Dogs. So Aiden Streeter now the batter. He's got 2 outs here with runners on the corners. Runners on first and third for Streeter. Dogs have a 2-0 lead with 2 outs. Streeter is a right-handed batter going against Tizenchek here in the bottom of the second. So Dogs trying to add more runs here. Have added 1 in the first, so 1 in the second. I'd like to keep going here. There's a curveball that curves in for a strike in the count. 0-1 to Streeter. Streeter from American International University. That's AIU. 0-1, here's the pitch. And that one low, but called a strike. 0-2, caught the bottom portion of the plate. Umpire with good vocal cords here tonight, we can hear the call, we can see the call. Nice to see here from the booth. Sometimes it's tough to make out the calls. This guy is making sure we hear him. Oh, that one hit right at the second baseman, and he slipped. He would have probably had he not slipped. His feet came out from underneath him. And another run scores here for the Dogs on the single from Streeter. So here's Jake Hard, who walked in his first at-bat here tonight against Tizenchek. And he will step into the box again with runners on the corners, but this time a 3-0 advantage for the Dogs. Tizenchek sets, winds and delivers. And down the middle, called strike 1, 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Tizenchek actually pitching a pretty good game. He just had some timely hits here for the Dogs. Dogs have found openings throughout the field, that's good baseball for the Dogs. And that one gets away from the catcher, and that's going to allow another run to score. The Dogs now take a 4-0 lead, and the count is 0-1. And we're waiting on the count. I'm going to say no, he did not go. So 1-1 the count. And now they're going to check. Not sure what they're going to be discussing here. I think they're going to be discussing whether it was something, I think, with Hard, because he said something to the umpire. The umpire then went out. All right, well, he says something to the coach for Albany, Joe Altieri, and Altieri was okay with it, walked back to the dugout, and the count 1-1 with a runner on second base here for the Dogs. 2 outs, and that one hits him. And now runners on first and second for Mohawk Valley. So Brody Freaker now will come to the plate. Freaker struck out looking in his first at bat. And Freaker now has runners on first and second. 4-0 lead and 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Big swing and a miss by Freaker. And the count 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike here to Freaker. Tizenchek sets, winds, delivers, and down low. And the count even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike here to Brody Freaker. Runners on first and second, not being held on. Both taking relatively short leads. Now the runner at second taking a big lead. And in the dirt, stopped by the catcher. Good thing he did, is that one could have easily been a stolen base, as the runner at second base had a huge lead. And was thinking about it and then decided to go back to second. 2-1 now. 2-1 pitch, here it is. And swing and a miss. That one was in the dirt as Freaker chased it. And the count now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brody Freaker. Two pitch on the way. And that one missing. 4-3 in the count, 3-2. That pitch was close as the catcher tried to frame it for the pitcher, but didn't sell it enough for the umpire. He called it a ball, 3-2. 3-2 pitch, here it is. And that is high, but called a strike. And Freaker not happy with that one. And that was definitely high, but called strike 3. So that'll do it. 3-run score. The Dogs take a 4-0 lead. We head to the third.
Little Falls, New York combines the charms of a small town with the conveniences of a much larger city. Of course, you'd expect to find welcoming people, beautiful scenery, family-friendly activities, and plenty to do outdoors. But you might be surprised to find that Little Falls, New York also has an espresso bar, gem shop, art center, French restaurant, antique centers, local hospital, and extensive civic services and amenities. Not to mention homes both beautiful and affordable, nestled in a dramatic natural setting amongst steep hills that descend to the Mohawk River and Erie Canal. Little Falls, New York. It's a great place to spend a few days or a lifetime.
Some people might think that the tire shop in Canajoharie only does tires. Nah, that's only their name. The tire shop does so much more. Oil changes, custom wheels, interstate batteries, computer wheel balancing, tire repair service and recapping, auto accessories, tire chains, ag bags, bale and net wrap, and much more. And when it comes to tires, the tire shop in Canajoharie also does so much more. Lawn and garden tires, off the road, backhoe, loader tires, log skidder, agricultural, ATV and UTV tires, and on the farm tire services. The tire shop is a multi-line new tire dealer. That means they're quite a choice for top brand name tires for your car, truck, SUV, semi-tractor, and trailer, all at great prices. They're also a Goodyear national accounts and state contract pricing location. Financing available too. Find more information and a list of services at thetireshop.biz. Thetireshop.biz. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 6. Yes, Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Tire Shop, 155 Erie Boulevard in Canajoharie.
And we are back. Red Marin is the batter for Albany. And first pitch to Marin here in the top of the third is a strike. The count 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Here's the windup and the pitch. Ball hit hard to second. Takes a little bounce off the dirt and scooped up by Streeter and thrown over to first for out number 1. So a quick first out there here in the top of the third for Mohawk Valley. So Christian Tortorici now the batter. He struck out looking in his first attempt here tonight. He is the catcher behind the plate for Albany. And he is ready to go. Ready to face Peyton Borzovi, I'm sorry. And there's a strike in the count 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Tortorici. Nick Plew on deck here in the top of the third for Albany. There's the windup, the pitch. Swing and a miss. And quickly ahead in the count, 0-2, is Borzovi. So Christian Tortorici down 0-2 in the count. As Borzovi looks to take care of him here with 3 pitches. And it misses outside corner. 1 and 2. Almost got him there. That was a good pitch, just missing on that outside edge. And the count 1 and 2. So with a 1-2 pitch, here it comes. Trying to get Tortorici. And same spot, but a little bit more inside. Got him. And the second time he is caught looking is Tortorici for out number 2 of the top of the third. So here's Nick Plew.
Now batting for the Athletics, third baseman number 14 from SUNY Cortland, Nick Blue.
So Plew with a single in his first at bat. He is from SUNY Cortland. There's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. So fans, make sure you go on to our Facebook page. Check out our schedule and see what dates you can make it out here. We'd love to see you at the ballpark. I know it's fun to listen on the radio and hear me talk all night long, but I guarantee you'll have more fun here at the ballpark. So come on down and check it out. And that one is hit over the fence and a home run for Nick Plew. So a single shot for Plew gets Albany on the board. And Nick Plew with a home run. And his attempt to get his team back here and gets him on the board. 4-1 now the score. So here's Davin Kendall Tucky, who walked in his first at bat. He's a lefty here, going against the lefty in Peyton Berzovi, and that is fouled off in the count 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike, 2 outs. And Berzovi is ready to go. He's going to wind and deliver to Tucky. And Tucky will lift that one into the air, into center field. Center fielder is there, makes the grab, and that'll do it for the inning. A quick inning, 1 home run puts Albany on the board from Nick Plew. We'll be back after this. 4-1 is the score.
At Hummel's Office Plus, our customers remain our #1 priority. Hi, Central New York. This is Justin Hummel, CEO of Hummel's Office Plus. If you are in need of a reliable, competitive, and consistent business product supplier, give Hummel's a try. We offer customized pricing, free next-day delivery, and personalized service. With our wide assortment of office supplies, janitorial supplies, furniture, and everything else you need for your workplace, Hummel's is your go-to for all your business products.
And we are back, folks. And 4-1 is the score. A solo shot in the top of the third there by Nick Plew resulted in a 4-1 score. So we have a new pitcher on the mound for Albany, TJ Kensel. TJ Hensel now pitching for Albany.
Third baseman number 15 from Trinity University, Jake Henning.
So Jack Henning is now the batter for Mohawk Valley. TJ Hensel is the pitcher. Hensel, a lefty. So 2 lefties in a row here for Albany. And Hensel will wind now and deliver on the pitch. And that one hits the outside corner for a called strike in the count 0-1 to Henning. Henning popped out in his first at bat here tonight. Dogs lead 4-1, bottom third, number 7 innings tonight. And that one misses outside for ball 1 in the count 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 pitch. And there is strike 2 in the count now 1-2. Hensel asked the umpire where that was. It's a quick explanation. The count now 1-2. A ball and 2 strikes to Henning. Here's the windup and the pitch from Hensel. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out, does Henning for out number 1.
Now batting for your Dogs, the catcher number 34 from the University of Richmond, Joe Crenshaw.
So Joe Crenshaw now the batter for Mohawk Valley. Crenshaw struck out looking in his first at-bat. He is from the University of Richmond. And here's the windup and the pitch to Crenshaw. Down low, misses for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to Crenshaw now. Nobody on, 1 out. Here's the windup, the pitch, and down the middle for a call, strike 1, and that evens the count at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike, 1 out to Crenshaw. 1-1, here comes. Wind up the pitch and missing outside corner, and the count now 2-1. So Crenshaw jumps back in the box, waits for Hensel. Hensel is ready, and he's going to wind out and deliver on the 2-1, and called strike 2. And now the count even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. And ball hit hard to short. Shortstop scoops it, throws across the diamond, and safe at first. So not in time as the shortstop, Kimbler, threw over to his first baseman, Gardner, and not in time. So Wesley Alfonso, who singled in his last at-bat, now will come to the plate with 1 out and a runner on first for the Dogs. Dogs with a 4-1 advantage here in the bottom of the 3rd. Looking to add more runs throughout this game. That one hit into the gap between 2nd and 3rd. And that's a base hit for Alfonso. And that will move the runners to 1st and 2nd.
Now batting for your Dogs, shortstop number 21 from Brown University, Harsh Ramayana Venkat.
So Harsh Ramayana Venkat, now the batter for the Dogs, and he will come to the plate with 1 out and runners on 1st and 2nd. 4-1 lead here for Albany. I'm sorry, for Mohawk Valley, and that is popped foul. So 0-1 count to Venkat. Oh, 0-1, here's the pitch. And that one called a strike. Thought maybe he would call it a ball, but they said he went. So the count 0-2. Strike zone tonight. Very, very, if you get it anywhere near that strike zone, you're not going to get a strike call. 1-2, which makes the game move along. As long as it's called the same on both sides, no one's really going to complain, although some players have got caught in their tracks a couple times on some of the strike calls. Here's the pitch, and that one is popped into center field, right center field, and the catch is made. They're going to throw it back in. The runner's going to tag up, head to 3rd, and the runner's on 1st and 3rd after the tag up with 2 outs. So Venkat, the sac fly, and now Kyle Coleman will come to the plate. So Coleman, who singled in his second at bat, and also popped out in his first at bat, now at the plate for the 3rd time. First time against Hensel. And let's see what he can do here with runners on 1st and 3rd and 2 outs. Dogs with a 4-1 lead, looking to add some more here in the bottom of the 3rd. Thus far, they've scored in every inning, and they'd like to keep that trend moving along here in the 3rd if they can. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. And big swing and a miss there by Coleman. Evens things up at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike here to Coleman. He steps on the box momentarily before he makes his way back in. Hensel is set on the rubber. Looks at the runner at first quickly. And now kicks and delivers. And again, a stop made by the catchers. That one was in the dirt. That is Tortorici doing the work behind the plate for Albany. And the count now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike, 2 outs. And that is high, 4-3, and the count now 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Coleman, bottom of the order. And back to the top we go with Nolan Colby, should he reach. Here's the pitch. And down the middle for a call, strike 2, and the count now full at 3-2 to Kyle Colby. Colby attends Belmont University. Right-handed batter is Coleman, playing center field for the Dogs here today. And the 3-2 count. Here's the pitch from Hensel on the way. Big swing and a miss, and he will strike out to end the inning. So for the first time in this ball game, the Dogs don't score in an inning, but they lead 4-1. Back after this.
If you are looking for some shopping and dining, head on over to Canal Place, where you will find quaint shops, galleries, restaurants, and inns situated in the old mill buildings and storefronts along the waterfront of Canal Place. They've become known as the happening place for the arts in the Mohawk Valley. Not so long ago, many of these buildings were working mills serving the garment industry. Even today, after conversion to service retail space, many of these rugged but lovely structures speak to our great regional manufacturing heritage. If you're looking for fine arts, entertainment, or antiques, you simply must pay a visit to Canal Place.
And we are back in Chase Morrison. We'll lead things off here for Albany in the top of the 4th inning. Score 4-1 Dogs. And here's the pitch to Morrison, and it is outside for ball 1. So Chase Morrison, the batter here, he grounded out in his first at-bat here tonight. And let's see what happens here in the second attempt. Here's the pitch, and he pops that one up foul. And that will even things up at 1-1. So a ball and a strike here to Chase Morrison. It'll be Chase Morrison, Ty Kimbler, and Cam Mayu all up in this inning. Here's the 1-1. And that one misses inside and high for ball 2. Two-one count here to to Morrison. And the windup, the pitch. And swing and a miss, and the count now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's the 2-2 pitch. And that one just missing, hitting him, and the count now 3-2. Well, 3 balls and 2 strikes here. Three-two pitch, wind up, and there it is. And he swings and misses for strike 3. Well, that is out number 1 for Albany. Ty Kimbler now coming to the plate.
For the Athletics, shortstop number 8 from Eastern Connecticut College, Ty Kimbler.
So Ty Kimbler, the shortstop from Eastern Connecticut College, now will step into the batter's box. A left-handed batter is Kimbler, grounded out first time up. And first pitch to Kimbler is a ball on the count, 1-0. A 1 ball and no strikes here to Kimbler. Top 4, 4-1, Dogs ahead. Pitch way outside, and the count now 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes to Kimbler. Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs starter Peyton Borzovi on the mound. And that's fouled off down the left field line by Kimbler, and the count now 2-1. Kimbler back in the box, ready to go. And the windup. And here comes the pitch. It is high for ball 3. And the count now 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Here's the 3-1. And hit to third. Third baseman scoops it, throws across. And out at first base after the throw from the third baseman for the Dogs, Jack Henning.
Designated hitter number 2 from Virginia Wesleyan, Cam Mayu.
So Cam Mayu now is going to jump into the batter's box for Albany with 2 outs and nobody on here in the top of the 4th. Mayu singled in his first at bat. Here's the windup, the pitch, swing and a miss, and the count 0-1. So big swing and a miss there by Mayu. Borzovi sets and tosses, and another big swing and a miss by Mayu, and quickly ahead in the count 0-2 is Borzovi. 1 more needed here for Borzovi to get out of this inning. Here's the windup and the throw. And that ball hit right to the glove of the first baseman as he makes the catch. Does Wesley Alfonso. And that'll do it for the inning. Dogs lead 4-1. Bottom 4th coming up.
Hey fans, tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
Spring into action and get started on your home projects with Little Falls Lumber. Get your free estimate today for that project, big or small. Little Falls Lumber, they're always happy to help.
Stop by one of our 3 convenient locations and speak to one of our knowledgeable salesmen about your next project.
And we are back. We have a new pitcher on the mound for Albany. That is Matt Gonzalez from Hofstra University. So Matt Gonzalez now pitching from Hofstra University. So Nolan Colby is the batter here for the Dogs. Here in the bottom of the fourth, Dogs lead 4-1, and the first pitch to Colby misses for ball one. The count 1-0. Gonzalez, a righty, big righty, and there's a swing and a miss by Colby in the count now 1-1. So a ball and a strike to Colby. Colby has struck out and singled here tonight. Facing a 1-1 count. He awaits Gonzalez to get back on the rubber. Looks in. Gonzalez picks up his pitch from his catcher and delivers. And that is fouled off down the third base line. And the count 1-2 now to Colby. It'll be Nolan Colby, Aiden Streeter, and Jake Hard all due up here in this inning here in the bottom of the fourth. Number 7 innings tonight. And that one is high, and the count now even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Colby. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that one missing badly. 3-2 now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So full count here to Nolan Colby with Aiden Streeter on deck. 3-2 pitch. Will be on its way shortly from Gonzalez. Here it is. Swing and a miss. And he will strike out Will Colby for out number 1 of the inning. And Aiden Streeter now the batter. So Aiden Streeter, who has singled twice, now will look to continue his single streak here in the bottom of the fourth inning with nobody on and 1 out with the Dogs leading 4-1. First pitch to Streeter from Gonzalez is high for ball 1. And the count 1-0. There's the 1-0 and brushes him off the plate. And the count 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes here to the second baseman, Streeter. From American International University is Streeter. There's the windup and the pitch. And called strike 1. 2-1. Two balls and a strike here. Gonzalez winds and delivers, and that one misses for ball 3 in the count now. 3-1 to Streeter. Again, nobody on here for the Dogs in the bottom of the fourth with 1 out. A 4-1 advantage does the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs, and he will walk Will Streeter. So Streeter will take a walk to first base. First runner on here in the bottom of the fourth. So Jake Hard now the batter. Hard was hit by a pitch in his last attempt, also walked here today. He is the right fielder from Fairfield University. Runner on first for Hard, and 1 out. And that is high for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Gonzalez sets and delivers the pitch. And there's a swing and a miss for a strike in the count. 1-1 now to Hard. Freaker is on deck here for the Dogs. Again, just 1 out. Runner on first. 4-1 advantage for Mohawk Valley. Gonzalez sets, delivers, and puts it in the dirt and stopped by the catcher. As the catcher got to do some work back there to make sure that ball stays put. Runner stays on first base. 2-1 now. The count to Hard. Gonzalez looks over his shoulder at the runner at first. And now tosses the ball across for a called strike inside portion of the plate. 2-2 now. 2 balls and 2 strikes with just 1 out here for the Dogs. Bottom of 4. Jake Hard, the batter, at the plate. Here's the windup by Gonzalez. And in the dirt, and runner takes off. Here's the throw. Not in time, as That one takes a little bit of a hop. And the runner's safe at second now. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to the batter. The runner was able to get the second on the stolen base after the throw from Tortorici from his knees. So 3-2, new ball delivered to the pitcher, personally by the umpire. So 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Jake Hard. This time 1 out, runner on second base here for the Dogs. Gonzalez ready, throws, and the ball hit sharply at the third baseman. He knocked it down, but unable to make a play. That ball was hit hard at him, and he was able to knock it down. That was Jack Henning. I'm sorry, that was Nick Plew at third base.
Now batting for your Dogs, left fielder number 19 from George Washington University, Brody Freaker.
So a hit for Hard brings up Brody Freaker. With the runners on the corners now for the Dogs with 1 out. Again, big opportunity here for the Dogs to add some runs. Runner takes off. Here's the throw. It is high. And the runner is going to take off as that ball made its way into the outfield. And so runner advances to third base. Runner scores. And the score now is 5-1 Dogs. So Freaker at the plate with a 1-0 count. As a series of mishaps there as the runner took off, the throw was made, and the ball got away into the outfield and allowed the runners to advance and score. So 1-0 count here to Freaker. And that one misses high for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 pitch is high for ball 3. And a 3-0 count here for Matt Gonzalez, looking for some strikes with just 1 out and a runner on third base here for Mohawk Valley. Dogs already lead 5-1. Here's Gonzalez with the pitch. And puts it in the dirt past the catcher, and that's going to allow another run to score for the Dogs. So the Dogs keep piling on. And that'll move the runner to first base as that was ball 4. And a run scores. Now Dogs lead 6-1. Well, the runner on first base now. Jack Henning is the batter for the Dogs. Still just 1 out here for Mohawk Valley in the bottom of the 4th. And another pitch outside by Gonzalez.
Now batting for your Dogs, third baseman number 15 from Trinity University, Jake Henning.
And with that, the catcher's going to head out and talk to his pitcher. That's Tortorici. He's going to go out and have a few words with Matt Gonzalez. They are on the top of the pitching mound, talking things over. Obviously a little frustration for both of them right now. And probably a little break needed for Tortorici. He's been all over the place trying to stop balls behind home plate. Henning awaits for everybody to get back into place as Tortorici makes a slow walk back behind the plate. He is set, and that'll allow Henning to jump in now and continue his at-bat. 1-0 count here to Henning. Runner on first. And that one called a strike, and the count 1-1. So a 1-1 count here to Henning. Joe Crenshaw on deck for the Dogs. Runner on first base, 1 out. 6-1 lead for the Dogs. Runner takes off. Here's the throw. And that one is high, but caught by the second baseman, but not in time. So a stolen base for the Dogs. Now runner on second base for Mohawk Valley. And a 2-1 count here to Henning. So Henning back in the spot, ready to go in the batter's box. Gonzalez takes a few glances at the runner at second, and the ball is hit into center field. Center fielder backing up at the wall, and he's going to make the grab. Hat comes off, throws it back in. A nice grab by the center fielder out there. That is Darren Kendall Tuckey for Albany for out number 2.
Now batting for your Dogs, catcher number 34 from the University of Richmond, Joe Crenshaw.
So Joe Crenshaw will come to the plate. The runner was able to advance to third. And so runner in scoring position at third base here for Crenshaw. Crenshaw has struck out looking and singled here tonight. And timeout was called momentarily. And looks like we're back ready to go. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that one almost got away as the catcher, Tortorici, stuck the glove out and made the grab. So 1-0 now, the count to Crenshaw. 2 outs, 6-1 lead here for the Dogs, bottom 4. In the dirt again, and gets away from the catcher. He runs over to grab it before that runner is able to come back and score at home. So he's going to creep back to third. He was thinking about it, but that ball kind of got away from the catcher and went to the first base line, not far enough. And the count 2-0. He may have scored because the ball was far enough, no one was covering. And another one in the dirt on the count now 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. Gonzalez looking to find the strike zone here, has been struggling. And the pitch is high for ball 4. Oh, he called a strike. I was surprised by that one myself. 3-1 the count, as Crenshaw was already down his way to first base. Everybody here in the ballpark thought it was ball 4, but that's all right. 3-1. And there's ball 4. And he will take his base, as that pitch looked to be almost in the same spot. Now runners on the corners. So Wesley Alfonso now comes to the plate after the walk to Crenshaw. Alfonso has singled both times here tonight for the Dogs. So he's got 2 outs, runners on the corners here for Alfonso. Gonzalez throws and puts it high, and they count 1-0. Kind of the story for the game here for Gonzalez. Pitches have been either high or in the dirt. Trying to find that middle zone. And again, that one down low this time in the count 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. A visibly frustrated Gonzalez. And he looks over his shoulder at the runner at first base. Doesn't matter much for him right now as he needs 1 out here. Runner takes off, and that one is in the dirt and outside. And a stolen base. So runners now in scoring position at second and third. 3 balls and no strikes. So 3-0 now the count to Alfonso. Only one spot to put him here for Gonzalez. First base is open. Would rather not. The Dogs would gladly take that spot. 3-0 pitch, here it comes. And that is high for ball 4. And that will load the bases for the Dogs as Harsh Ramayan Venkak will come to the plate.
Shortstop number 21 from Brown University, Harsh Ramayan Venkak.
So here is Venkak coming to the plate. He had a sac fly in his last at bat. Would love a single here or more with bases loaded for the Dogs. 2 outs, bottom 4. They lead 6-1. Here is Gonzalez with the pitch. And there's a strike to Venkat in the count 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. 0-1 pitch on its way. And that is high for ball 1 in the count 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Venkat here. Again, bases juice full of dogs. And would love to bring those dogs home. Does not want to leave them on the base pads. Here's the pitch. And Venkak fouls that one off. And the count now 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch now on its way from Gonzalez. And called strike 3. And that'll do it for the inning. They leave bases loaded. Dogs score 2. And 6-1 is the score. After this, we'll be back.
Visit the Daily Post and stay connected with the latest news, information, and events in the Mohawk Valley. Our mission is to generate interest in the area and connect residents in a more meaningful way by facilitating deeper conversations about how these stories will shape the future of the Mohawk Valley. Join thousands of weekly visitors who stay up to date with feature stories, interviews, videos, our event calendar, and print publication, the Mohawk Valley Express. It's about timely local news for the community, keeping citizens informed about important issues, telling about the people who live and work here, and giving locally owned businesses the opportunity to reach a very targeted audience of locals and tourists alike. It's a whole new form of media-rich content developed specifically for today's mobile lifestyle and listeners. You can download our iOS app in the iTunes Store, listen to our podcast, or sign up for our weekly email newsletter. Stop by today at thedailypost.digital. You'll be glad you did.
And we are back. Dogs lead 6-1. We are in the top of the 5th inning here. Remember, 7 innings, folks. Dogs with a 6-1 lead here over Albany. The Albany Athletics.
First baseman number 40 from Hudson Valley Community College, Tristan Gardner.
So Tristan Gardner will lead things off for Albany here in the top of the 5th. It'll be Tristan Gardner, Ryan Regan, and then back to the top of the order with Red Marin. But first, here is Gardner. Outside the Gardner count 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes. Borzovi winds, delivers, and that's fouled off. And the count even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike here. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And that one misses for ball 2, and the count 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. A 2-1 pitch on its way now from Borzovi. And swing and a miss for strike 2. And the count now even at 2-2 to Gardner. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Gardner. 1 more needed here for Borzovi for out number 1 of the inning. Here's the pitch. And there's called strike 3. And that is out number 1 of the inning. That is the 5th strikeout of the evening, I believe, for Borzovi. Yep, that is number 5. So Ryan Reagan, now the batter for Albany. Here's Borzovi, the windup, the pitch, and call the strike, and they count 0-1. No balls and a strike here to Regan. Regan, the bottom of the order, grounded out in his first at bat. That one misses down low, and the count 1-1. Regan is a left fielder from Adirondack Community College. Right-handed batter is Regan. As Borzovi will deliver on the 1-1 here. And a little chopper hit to the second baseman, scoops it up, throws across on a bounce, and it gets away from the first baseman. That was second baseman Streeter over to Alonzo. It was just a little short, and that's an error. And so he will reach on an error. So Red Marin now the batter for Albany with 1 out and a runner on first. Marin from Hudson Valley Community College. He has grounded out and popped out here tonight. So 0-2 for Marin. Here's the pitch. It is high, ball 1. A 1 ball and no strikes here to Marin. Marin, the second baseman, right-hander, facing the lefty in Borzovi. Runner at first, taking a short lead. Here's the pitch. And that one called a strike. Hits the outside portion of the plate, 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Borzovi looks at the runner at first and now delivers the pitch. And down the middle for a called strike 2. The count now 1-2. A 1 ball and 2 strikes. And there's the 1-2 pitch. And that's fouled off right here behind us. And the count remains 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes. A 1-2 count here to Marin. Runner on first again, taking a short lead, 1 out. They throw it over to keep him close. And he just runs back quickly. So everybody will reset here. Marin resets in the box. Borzovi ready to go and delivers, and he misses for ball 2. And the count now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Red Marin. Christian Tortorici, the catcher, is on deck. 2-2. The windup and the pitch. And that one misses. 3-2. That one just missing. And the count now full to Marin. So 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Red Marin. He steps on the box, takes a few practice cuts before he jumps back in, ready to face Peyton Borzovi. Borzovi looks, and he looks over that runner at first base for a second, and now winds and delivers. And there's a call, strike 3. Marin thought maybe he had it. Nope. Calls him back and says that is strike 3, young son. So Christian Tortorici, now the batter. So 6 strikeouts here on the night for Peyton Borzovi. And that one is falling off. You can hear some of the guys talking about how that ball was on the other side of the box. Not happy with where it was. Part of the game. That's how it goes. 0-1 count. No balls and 1 strike here to Tortorici. And there is called strike 2 in the count quickly, 0-2. So 1 more needed for Borzovi here to get out of this inning. He's got 2 outs, 0-2 count here to the catcher, Tortorici. So righty versus lefty here. Here's the lefty, Borzovi delivering to the righty and Tortorici, and he misses outside, and the count 1-2. A 1 ball and 2 strikes to the catcher, Tortorici. Nick Plew is on deck. He hit a home run his last at bat. 1-2. Here comes the pitch. And hit on the ground, fouled on the third base line, and the count's going to remain 1-2. The runner's going to head back to first base. He was on his way to second on that ball. It was foul. And now Tortorici back in the box, ready to face Borzovi with a 1-2 count and 2 outs. There's the pitch. And swing and a miss. He strikes him out for strikeout number 7 of the evening for Borzovi. That'll do it for the inning. We head to the bottom of the inning. 6-1 Dogs.
We know pools. Garrity Pools and Spa are the experts in building and creating backyard memories for thousands of families. Garrity takes pride in offering only the highest quality in-ground Pacific pool and radiant above-ground pools that are built for upstate New York weather. Garrity offers only the best with BioGuard chemicals to keep your pool sparkling clean. Visit the professionals at Garrity Pools and Spa, 234 South Caroline Street, Herkimer, or GarrityPools.com.
Wake up and smell the sizzle at your local Burger King. Burger King is open for breakfast 7 days a week. Your mornings deserve the royal treatment. So dive in to try our delicious breakfast sandwiches, savor our savory hash browns, and wash it all down with a hot or iced coffee. Whether it's Monday or Sunday, we've got your breakfast cravings covered. Swing by BK today to have it your way. You rule at participating U.S. restaurants during breakfast hours.
And we are back for the bottom of the fifth inning. We have a new pitcher on the mound for the Albany Athletics from Hamilton College. That is Colin McMahon. Colin McMahon from Hamilton College on the mound for the Albany Athletics. And so here we go, bottom of the fifth inning, Dogs with a 6-1 lead. And here's the first pitch from McMahon. McMahon is a righty. And there's a big swing and a miss for strike one. Coleman, the batter for the Dogs here. 0-1 count. McMahon is set now, and he will deliver the pitch. Right down the center of the plate. Called strike two, and the count now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes here to Kyle Coleman. Coleman has struck out, singled, and popped out here tonight. 0-2. McMahon taking a long stare. Taking a deep breath, and now winds and delivers. And swing and a miss, so 3 in a row. He strikes out Kyle Coleman for out number 1 of the inning. So we'll head back to the top of the lineup now with Nolan Colby. And Colby, tonight's DH, he struck out twice and singled once. He is from Fairfield University. Colby, a left-handed batter. And that one in the dirt to Colby for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes to Colby. Aiden Streeter is on deck. Dogs 6-1 lead here in the bottom of the fifth. Remember, folks, we play 7 because it is an exhibition for both teams. 1-0 pitch. Here comes. Outside corner, and that catches it for a strike in the count 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Colby here. As McMahon looks in. McMahon takes his time, gets his count, and a slow windup and delivery. And that's fouled off, and the count now 1-2. So McMahon usually looks like he gets set, then he stares in, gets his sign, and once he gets his sign, his windup is very slow and methodical. Starts with his glove and then slowly works his way down. And swing and a miss there for strike 3. And that is out number 2. So 2 batters for McMahon, both strikes.
Nine for your Dogs. Second baseman number 29 from AIU, Aiden Streeter.
So here's Aiden Streeter now. And Streeter walked in his last at bat, also singled twice here tonight. He's got 2 outs, nobody on, bottom 5. Here's the pitch. And that one is hit hard, but foul down the first base side. That one is in the second tennis court area. And it looks like one of the kids out there noticed it quickly, is on the run for it. 0-1, here's the pitch. And there's strike 2 right down the middle. So McMahon working very efficiently here so far. 0-2 the count. 2 outs already. This is the 3rd batter he's faced. Here's the 0-2. And down low, misses for ball 1, and the count now 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here for McMahon. Streeter the batter with a 1-2 count. McMahon now with the toss. And that is inside. And the count now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Streeter. Colin McMahon, the pitcher. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And McMahon will deliver the pitch. And that one hits sharply to left field as Streeter getting all part of the ball on that one. And that is good for a base hit. And that is the first runner that's gotten on base off of McMahon. So Jake Hard now He'll come to the plate. Hard has singled, was hit by a pitch and walked. And he will come to the plate now in the bottom of the fifth here with 2 outs. A runner on first and a 6-1 advantage. And that one is popped up, and that's going to be out of play. And that'll bring the count to 0-1 now to Hard. Hard, the right fielder here tonight for the Dogs. So Hard steps back into the box. Showing he's ready to go. Colin McMahon is set now. Kicks, winds, and delivers. And that is down low and outside for a ball. And the count 1-1. Again, some work there behind the plate for Tortorici. 1-1 now the count with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. It is high for ball 2 in the count 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike here. Jake Hard is the batter. 2-1 the count. Runner on first being held on, taking a short lead. 2 outs. And a little chopper hit on the ground. This might cause some problems, and it does. And that one gets through as the second shortstop and the third baseman were attempting to go after it, and nobody comes up with it. And that'll put runners on first and second now for the Dogs. So a single for Hard. And the runners now on first and second, and Brody Freaker at the plate. He has walked and struck out looking twice here tonight. Here's the pitch. And there's a call to strike outside portion of the plate. That outside corner, very generous by the guy in black there behind the plate. He's calling it a little outside, I'd say, from here, but people have gotten used to it by now. They know that's going to be a strike. 0-1. And that's a nice pitch. He takes a little bit off of that one. Does McMahon. Calls strike 2 as he swings and misses. Does Freaker. That one caught him off guard. That ball just floated across home plate. 0-2 now. Well, no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on first and second for the Dogs. Here's the pitch. And swing and a miss. And Freaker goes down swinging. And that'll do it for the inning. Dogs don't put up any runs, but they lead 6-1. We head to the top of the 6th. Dogs ahead.
At GPO, we understand every member's journey is unique. That's why our employees take the time to listen, understand, and deliver personalized solutions that fit your life. From budgeting to borrowing, we're with you every step of the way. Your journey, our commitment. GPO Federal Credit Union, committed to excellence.
And we are back. And we have a new pitcher on the mound. And Nick Plew will lead things off. He hit a home run in his last at bat. He's going to face a new pitcher here in Dean Daddio from Felician University. So Daddio on the mound for Mohawk Valley, and Plew is at the plate. Here comes the pitch from Daddio to start things off. And that is a strike for an 0-1 count. A sidearm pitcher is Daddio. And like I said, Plew hit a home run, also singled in this ball game from SUNY Cortland. Right-handed batter. And the pitch is popped foul on the count, 0-2. So ahead of the count, here is Daddio to Plew, 0-2. We are in the top of the sixth, 6-1 Dogs ahead. It is a 7-inning game for both teams here tonight. This is an exhibition game. And then again, it's popped up, and first baseman makes the catch out in foul territory for out number 1. So Davin Kendall Tuckey now the batter. So Tuckey, who has walked and popped out, will step into the batter's box from the left side. So lefty here against the righty in Dean Daddio. With one out, nobody on, top 6. And here we go with the pitch from Daddio. And that one sailed across for a strike, count 0-1. That was outside corner, and that painted the line exactly. 0-1. Here's Daddio now with the pitch. And he misses for ball 1 on the count now, 1-1. So a ball and a strike here with 1 out. One pitch on its way. And that's fouled off on the count now. Jumps to 1-2. So again, ahead in the count is the pitcher here against Tuckey. After Tuckey, it'll be Chase Morrison on deck. Next up for Albany. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2. And swing and a miss. And he will strike him out. And Tuckey with the strikeout. So Chase Morrison now the batter for Albany. So Morrison, a right-handed batter with 2 outs, nobody on, facing Daddio here. Here's the pitch. Nice pitch by Daddio, and the swing and a miss in the count, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike here to Morrison. Kimbler on deck, and there's another swing and a miss for strike 2. And 1 more needed for Daddio to get out of this inning and take his team to the bottom of the 6th. And Daddio will set now, 0-2. Here's the windup and the pitch outside for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes here. 1-2 pitch now on its way from Daddio. And swing and a miss, and that will do it for the inning. And the Dogs lead 6-1. We head to the bottom half of the 6th. Dogs ahead.
At NBT Bank, we know that this day starts with this one. This day starts with this one. Because no matter how unforgettable the extraordinary days are, there's a lot of every day that leads up to them. You can count on NBT Bank to help you get started. NBT Bank, it starts here.
And we're back in. Jack Henning will lead things off here for the Dogs. It'll be Henning, Joe Crenshaw, and Wesley Alfonso here in the bottom of the sixth for the Dogs. Dogs looking for some insurance runs here. Already up 6-1. Remember, 7 innings, fan. So Dogs looking to pile on here if they can. Colin McMahon is the pitcher here for Albany. Here's the pitch. And that one misses, ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes to Henning. Henning has popped out twice and struck out once here this evening. He is the third baseman for the Dogs. 1-0 pitch. And that one misses for ball 2 in the count, 2-0. Well, 2 balls and no strikes. To Henning. Here's the windup now on the pitch from McMahon. That's a called strike. The count now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Henning. Again, Crenshaw awaiting on deck for the Dogs. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And that one is hit into right field. And it is foul. Well, foul ball for Henning, so he's going to go back and do it all again, this time with a 2-2 count. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Henning is set back, ready to go into the batter's box. Awaits McMahon's pitch here with a 2-2 count. And now McMahon will wind and deliver. And does so outside. The count now 3-2. Well, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So a full count here to Henning. McMahon taking a long look. And now he's going to make motion and deliver. And puts it low for ball 4. And Henning will take a walk to first base. And Joe Crenshaw will come to the plate. So with nobody out, Joe Crenshaw is the batter for the Dogs. Crenshaw, University of Richmond. He is the catcher for the Dogs. He has walked, singled, and struck out looking here tonight. He's got nobody out and a runner on first with a 6-1 lead in the bottom half of the 6th here. Again, Dogs looking for some more runs as insurance, as this game is a 7-inning game. There's a swing and a miss by Crenshaw for strike 1. And the umpire's heading out to the pitcher. Not sure what this is about. And quick chat, and he's back behind the mound. So 0-1 count now to Crenshaw. Runner on first, taking a short lead. Here's the pitch. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 2 in the count, 0-2 now. No balls and 2 strikes to Crenshaw. And McMahon again looks in. Now this time he quickly throws over to first. And the runner slides back quickly. Into the count here to Crenshaw. Runner on first. Again, short lead being held on. Here's the pitch. And ball hit through the gap between second and third. And that'll be good for a base hit. That'll move runner to second, And runners on first and third here after the hit by Joe Crenshaw. So Wesley Alfonso now will come to the plate. Nobody out. Runners on first and second for the Dogs here. Alfonso with a hot bat here tonight. 2 singles and a walk. And here's the pitch to Alfonso. It's high for ball 1. So Wesley Alfonso, the first baseman from American International University, looking to keep things going here in this bottom of the sixth with nobody out. He's got a couple singles already in the books. 1-0 pitch to Alfonso. Swing and a miss. And the count now 1-1. Alfonso steps out momentarily. Now he's back into the box from the right side. Right-handed batter is Alfonso. 1-1 pitch. Runners take off. Double steal. No throw. And called strike. So both runners safe at second and third. Strike was called. So the count to Alfonso was 1-2. But both runners now in scoring position. So a single will score a run or more. Should Alfonso be able to put it in play. 1-2 here. And that one is fouled off. Right idea for Alfonso. Went the other way to first base. But foul. So the count now 1-2. One ball and two strikes to Alfonso with nobody out here in the bottom of the sixth. Here's the pitch. And swing and a miss. And he will go down swinging. Will Alfonso for out number one.
Shortstop number 21 from Brown University, Harsh Ramayanam Venkat.
So here's Harsh Ramayanam Venkat. He will jump into the batter's box from the right side. He struck out looking in his last at bat. He's got one out. And he's got runners on second and third. And that one is hit into left field. Left fielder's going to make the grab. Runner's going to tag up. And here's the throw, not in time. And the run will score. So the Dogs add one. So Venkat with an RBI. With an RBI, sorry. Sac fly. And Kyle Coleman, bottom of the lineup now for the Dogs, will come to the plate. Coleman has struck out twice today, popped out and singled. And he is at the plate with a runner on third and two outs. 7-1 lead here for the Dogs. So looking for more. Coleman would love to bring his teammate in here and add another run to the board. That's outside for ball one to Coleman. Count 1-0. So bottom six here. Dogs looking to tag on some more runs with a 7-1 lead. As in a 7-inning game, Albany's going to have to make a monumental comeback in the top of the seventh. That one misses for ball two, and the count now 2-0 to Coleman. Should Coleman reach, we go back to the top of the lineup with Nolan Colby on deck. But first, here's Coleman with a 2-0 count and a runner on third base with two outs. McMahon is the pitcher. Colin McMahon from Hamilton College out in Clinton, New York. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle for a call. Strike one. The count 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike here to Coleman. Coleman steps in the box. He's got his sliding glove in his back pocket. Here's the pitch. And that one looks like they hit him. Either hit him or it's a foul ball. And it looks like it hit him, so he is going to head to first base. So hit by a pitch is Coleman. And now runners on the corners for the Dogs at first and second. First and third, sorry. So back to the top of the order with Nolan Colby. So Colby, a single tonight and has struck out 3 times. So his 5th at bat of the night here for Colby. They check out Coleman at first base, make sure he's okay. Took that one, looks like in the left hand. And he's got his sliding gloves out, so he's ready to go. Back in business. So Nolan Colby, top of the order for the Dogs. 2 outs, bottom 6. They lead 7-1, and they have runners at the corners. Colin McMahon is the pitcher. And he will deliver now as the runner takes off. And that is fouled off and out of play. The runner was taken off the second on that, and he's going to go back to first now, Will Coleman. So with Coleman back at first, we'll have runners on the corners again, and an 0-1 count to Nolan Colby. And 2 outs. A 7-1 lead here for the Dogs. McMahon is ready. Colby is ready. And looks like Coleman is ready too as he slides back quickly at first base. They check the runner, Kyle Coleman at first. He slides back. 0-1 the count to Colby at the plate. Runners on first and third taking short leads. Runner takes off and pitches down low, and the runner will steal easily with no throw. So now runners on second and third in scoring position. And Nolan Colby at the plate with a 1-1 count. 1-1, 2 outs, bottom 6, 7-1 Dogs. Here's the pitch. Right down the center of the plate for a call, strike 2, and the count now 1-2. So Albany needing just one more strike to get out of this inning here and head to the top of the 7th, down 6 runs. 1-2 pitch, here it is. And that's fouled off down the first base line. So Colby will stay alive. Fans, next home game here for the Dogs is Tuesday night. A 6:35 start. Make sure you come on down as the Saugerty Stallions come to town. The PGCBL champs will take on the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. 6:35 first pitch. Make sure you come on down or tune in if you can't, and we'll take it from there. Tuesday night, that's Memorial Park. Love to see you. 1-2, and that is popped again foul. And the count now 1-2 remains. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Nolan Colby as he continues to battle at the plate against Colin McMahon. Runners on second and third here for the Dogs. They have a 7-1 lead, looking to add some more. And a little chopper down the first base line, foul, and we will continue to battle here. So the Dogs again looking to add some runs here before Albany will get a chance in the top of the 7th. If Albany wants to move this game forward, they're going to have to score at least 6 runs if the Dogs can't put up any more. Here's the 1-2. And that one gets away from the catcher, and they're going to add an insurance run. And now the score is 8-1 Dogs after the wild pitch. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Colby. So Colby will take a practice hack before he makes his way back into the box. Colin McMahon is the pitcher, takes a deep breath. 2-2, he just needs one more to get out of this inning, get out of this jam. Runner on third base here for the Dogs. 8-1 lead, here's the pitch. And that one is hit into right field. A base hit will score a run. And he's going to go to second, Will Colby. And close play, nope. And he will slide in safely at second. So a double for Colby, scores another run. And now the Dogs lead 9-1. So Aiden Streeter now the batter for Mohawk Valley. And again, still 2 outs for the Dogs. Runner on second base. And Streeter having himself a game as well. He has 3 hits on the evening with a walk. So another hit would do him just fine here in this ball game. And that one missing to Streeter. And the count 1-0. A 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. And that is strike 1 in the count. 1-1 to Streeter. Streeter from the American International University, AIU. He is the second baseman here for the Dogs. He's facing a 1-1 count with 2 outs and a runner on second. 9-1 lead for the Dogs. And there's a call, strike in the count, 1-2. That was inside corner. And 1-2 now the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Aiden Streeter, the batter. Colin McMahon, the pitcher. 1-2 pitch. On its way shortly. Here it is. Down low for ball 2. And that'll make deuces wild here in the bottom of the 6th. 2 balls and 2 strikes and 2 outs for Aiden Streeter. Add 1 more, 2. He's the second baseman. And here is McMahon now with the pitch. Ball hit hard into right field, and that's going to be good for a base hit, and that's going to score another run. And the Dogs hit double figures with a 10-1 lead here. 10-1 for the Dogs. The Dogs adding on, trying to make it as difficult as possible for Albany to come back here in the top of the 7th. So Jake Hard, now the batter again, still 2 outs. Dogs doing all this with 2 outs here. A 10-1 lead. Here's the pitch. And that one misses for high for ball 1. So for Hard, 2 singles, a walk, and a hit by pitch. 1-0 the count. Runner on first again, short lead. They throw back to first. Streeter slides in safely. Hard ready in the box. McMahon is looking in, picked up his sign from his catcher. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that one is popped into left field. And he's going to make the catch and left, and that'll do it for the inning, but not before the Dogs with a big 4-run inning. They take a 10-1 lead into the top of the 7th, and they try to shut it down here as they come out to the top of the 7th. Back after this.
Little Falls, New York combines the charms of a small town with the conveniences of a much larger city. Of course, you'd expect to find welcoming people, beautiful scenery, family-friendly activities, and plenty to do outdoors. But you might be surprised to find that Little Falls, New York also has an espresso bar, gem shop, art center, French restaurant, antique centers, local hospital, and extensive civic services and amenities. Not to mention homes both beautiful and affordable, nestled in a dramatic natural setting amongst steep hills that descend to the Mohawk River and Erie Canal. Little Falls, New York. It's a great place to spend a few days or a lifetime.
And we are back, folks. Top of the 7th inning. And we have a new pitcher on the mound for the Dogs. So moving from shortstop to the pitching mound is Harsh Ramanyan Venkak. And moving to short is Nolan Colby. So that's our changes in the field. So Venkak now pitching for Mohawk Valley. So top of the 7th, Dogs with a 10-1 lead. So they got Albany Athletic got to do it all here if they want to come back here. This is a 7-inning game, so they're going to have a big inning here, a 9-run inning, to at least tie things up. It gives themselves a chance here as the Dogs have built a big lead here with a big bottom of the 6th inning, 4-run inning for the Dogs. Here's Venkot now with the windup, and the pitch takes a long stare before he delivers, and does so, and delivers and misses, and the count now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike here. A 1-1 count to Mayo. 1 ball, 1 strike. Venkot looks now, winds and delivers. And big swing and a miss And that is strike two in the count, 1-2. Kimbler is at the plate. My apologies. Number 8. Kimbler has grounded out twice here tonight. Here's the 1-2. And he fouls that one off, and the count's going to remain 1-2 strikes. Fans, don't forget, back here on Tuesday night, the Dogs will be playing the champs, Saugerty Stallions, at the 6:35 first pitch. Remember, come out to the ballpark if you can. If not, you can find us right here on Facebook Live, YouTube, and all over social media. Just type in Diamond Dogs. You'll find us out there. It is all brought to you by Creative Outpost. 2-2 strikes. Venkot looks in. He sets now, winds, and delivers on the 2-2. And that is down low for ball 3. So full count here to Kimbler. It'll be Kimbler, Mayu, and Gardner all due up here in the inning. They all need to produce here with 9 runs, or else they're going to pack up that bus and head back to Albany with a loss in this exhibition. That one is popped high, and the center fielder comes to, makes the catch, and that is out number 1 for Albany.
Albany Athletics, designated hitter number 2 from Virginia Wesleyan, Cam Mayu.
So Cam Mayu now is the batter after the pop out to center fielder Kyle Coleman grabbed it for the Dogs. So Mayu now is the batter. And the pitch to Mayu at ball. 1 no strikes. For Mayu, he has singled and popped out here tonight. Very efficient for the Dogs. So not many chances here for Albany. And that one misses, and the count now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Mayu. Here's the pitch outside, and the count now 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes to the designated hitter Cam Mayu from Virginia Wesleyan University. Right-handed batter is Mayu. Here's the windup now on the pitch by Venkot. And that one missing outside and low for ball 4. And he will take a stroll to first base. Will Cam Mayu.
For the Athletics, first baseman number 40 from Hudson Valley Community College, Tristan Gardner.
So Tristan Gardner, now the batter. He has struck out twice tonight, once looking, once swinging. And so that's what the Athletics need, base runners. However they can get them, they get one with a walk. They're going to need a bunch more. There's a swing and a miss from Gardner, and the count now 0-1 to Gardner. So no balls and 1 strike. So Dogs 2-0 on the season as far as in the PGCBL. Winners last night against the Albany Mohawks. I'm sorry, the Albany Mohawks. The Amsterdam Mohawks. I got my names a little mixed up there, huh? How can I forget those guys? The Amsterdam Mohawks. So winners out there. They go out on the road, get a big win. 2-0 on the season. This game is an exhibition, so it won't count in the standings for the Dogs, but still a great game for the Dogs. Get those bats rolling, get those pitchers' arms moving, and then be ready for Saugerty on Tuesday. Tomorrow, a 10 o'clock game for the Dogs. Yeah, you heard that right, a 10 o'clock game in Utica, 10 a.m., folks. So talk about loving the game, right? You got to wake up at 10 o'clock. You got to wake up earlier than that because you got to head out. You got to head out from Little Falls, which is probably a 30-minute, 40-minute drive. 8:30, I'm being told. Be ready. The bus leaves at 8:30, with or without you. And that one misses for ball 4. So you're asking why a 10 o'clock start. Well, there's a good reason for it. It is kids' day, school day out there. So a lot of the kids will have a field trip to the ballpark in Utica. And they're hosting, told us hosting sectionals at the new ballpark. They have a new turf field in Utica. Nice, nice facility. But what a great day for the kids. I mean, if I was a kid and I was getting a field trip to a baseball game, I would absolutely love it. I always tell the story I went to a Catholic school all my life, so we'd make trips here and there to places, but we had a field every year. We'd go to the St. Caterina Shrine, which was fun. I learned from that you cannot take Dave's sitting right next to me. I'm going to tell him this story. You cannot take a lizard tiny little salamander off the property because it's holy. Did not know that. So me and my friend brought the salamander back home to school. Yes, so 2 balls and no strikes. We brought the salamander to school, and when we arrived there, we were showing it off, and to the dismay of the nun that was there, you can't take that off a holy ground. I was like, oh boy. So we had to call them and apologize and told them we'd bring it back to them if they'd like, and they let us keep it, thank God. And well, my other favorite story. So then we'd go to the we're going to the Baseball Hall of Fame and the Farmers Museum. I'm from Utica. Farming is not my thing. 2 balls and 1 strike. So I was all excited about this trip. I was like, all right, we're going to the Farmers Museum. We're going to go to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Yeah, we get out there. They canceled the Baseball Hall of Fame. So we spent the whole day at the Farmers Museum. That was a joy. I just loved that. Looking at these, old, rusty trucks. That's fun. 3 and 1. That's what I said. I answered the whole thing. 3 balls and 1 strike. Swing and a miss. And the count now 3 and 2. 3 balls and 1 strike now. 3 and 2. 1 ball, 1 out. Runners on first and second here for Albany. They're trying to get back in this game, folks. Battling here late in the inning. And that one is popped up to left field at the wall, and it is gone. A home run for Albany, so not so fast, folks, as the Albany team says, listen, if we're going to head back home, we're going to make this difficult for them before we do it. So they get 3 runs out of the 9 they need, and the score now 10-4. Dogs ahead with 1 run. So if you're going to get back to a ball game when you got just 1 inning left to do it, this is how you do it. 1 batter at a time, 1 run at a time, and a home run doesn't hurt. So back to the top of the order we go with Red Marin. It must be the salamander story that I brought up. I mean, I jinxed it, I guess. Here's the pitch, and that is popped foul. That's 13. That's the hits. Here's the windup now on the pitch after the foul ball. Another foul ball. And 2 strikes now after the foul ball. And 0-2. So the St. Catarina trying not too far from here. I know that. I don't know exactly where it is, but down the thruway. And that one misses down low. Looks like we have our little malfunction on our scoreboard. It froze up on us. We're working on it. 1 and 2, I believe, is the count. We'll wait for the umpire to tell us what it is, but that one's down low. And 2 and 2 now, so 2 balls and 2 strikes. Josh, you can announce it if you want to say 2 and 2 so they know. All right, never mind. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. And here's the pitch. And swing and a miss for strike 3. And now the Athletics down to their final out after the strikeout by Red Marin. So Christian Tortorici. Well, 10-4 is the score. The scoreboard was giving us a little bit of trouble. It's not easy up here, folks. Lots going on. That one misses for ball 1 to Tortorici in the count 1-0. Sometimes you look up on the scoreboard and or look at things going on here. You're like, well, what's so hard about keeping the scoreboard? We're doing 15 jobs up here, folks. We got the music guy doing music. He's doing scoreboard. I'm just rambling up here sometimes. 1-1 the count. Here's the 1-1 pitch.
Oh, that's a good one.
And there's strike 2. So down to their final strike here are the Athletics. 1 and 2. 1 more needed here. And the Dogs will come out victorious 10-4. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that should do it. They're going to check to see if he went. They say he did. That's the ball game, folks. Dogs win this one 10-4. And great game for the Dogs they improve on the season here. And next game is Tuesday night. Saugerty Stallions come to town, 6:35. Make sure you tune in on Pete Pagliaro for Creative Outpost. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night, folks.
We're out on the field and we're ready to play. We're all suited up, we got a game today. We're gonna play fast and we're gonna play hard, gonna knock that ball right out of the yard. So don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler now. Let's go, Dogs! We got a guy on bird and nobody out. It's time to stand up, yes, it's time to shout. We're playing some ball and we're having some fun. Come on, boys, let's score that run. So don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler now. Let's go, Dogs! The field and we're ready to play. We're all suited up, we got a game today. We're gonna play fast and we're gonna play hard, gonna knock that ball right out of the yard. So don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler now. Let's go, Dogs! 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 Don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler.